visitors. You've got the right to hate the U.S., of course, if you want to, but we in the U.S. also have the right to prevent you from coming here if you hate us. Don't we have that right? That's the question. For the answer, we welcome from Fort Worth, Texas, immigration law attorney Francisco Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, thanks for coming on.
Mr. Carlson, thank you.
I don't think there's really much debate that we are hated in Mexico. According to the latest Zogby poll, the majority of Mexicans don't like the United States. Compare this to America, where only 10% of the population has an unfavorable view of Mexicans. The majority of Mexicans don't like us. Why exactly would we want to welcome with open arms people who hate us?
Well, first of all, you have to differentiate. I would take issue, first of all, that Mexico hates us. I have a lot of family in Mexico, and they all want to come to the United States. Well, at least my family does. But what you really have to understand, there's a difference between folks who came here years ago to work, to be a productive member of this society, and they're the ones who, quite frankly, are wearing the United States jerseys at the Mexico-U.S. games. So you have to separate it. On the other hand, the issue from Mexico is a political issue. It is a political way of demonstrating their frustration with the way we have treated Mexico by wanting, first of all, to put up a wall. How would you think your neighbor would feel if you're trying to put up a 20-foot wall between his and your house?
The way we have treated Mexico, okay, so the single largest source of foreign capital in Mexico comes from remittances sent from Mexicans living in the United States. The Mexican economy would collapse in about 30 seconds were Mexicans not sending money back to their home country. How exactly have we mistreated Mexico? We keep the place afloat.
The U.S. economy would crash if you deport all the undocumented workers in the United States. So it's the same thing. But if you talk about the remittances...
Maybe not. But we know for certain that the Mexican kleptocracy could no longer function were it not for the United States economy. So it seems to me you've got one country that's entirely dependent upon the other. Why do they hate us? It's not clear what America has done to earn the hatred of Mexicans and the Mexican government.
Mexico
what
does not hate the United States. But if
why
you're going to talk about the
remittances,
remittances, you have to be fair and talk about the sucking sound of the money, of the pesos that comes from Walmart and City Financial that's sucking pesos out of Mexico. So it's a balance. We're neighbors. We have a coexistence. When U.S. catches a cold, Mexico does sneeze. We have an interrelated relationship. We're brothers. We're neighbors. We have to learn to get along. I'm not saying it's right for Mexicans to cheer Osama, but it's certainly just as bad or worse for Americans to want to build a 20-foot wall between our two homes.
You've got to be kidding. It's as immoral for the United States to preserve its own territorial integrity. States have a right to preserve their borders. Mexico does. Mexico doesn't welcome Guatemalans or Salvadorans or Nicaraguans into its country. It puts them in jail, as you know. So it's as immoral for the U.S. to do what every other country does, preserve its integrity.